Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Mahyam Tadanam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhirami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshikari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurava Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So we'll go to 6.7. Then we stop there. Yeah. So the mind is both our enemy as well as our friend. Okay. When does the mind becomes our enemy? When does the mind becomes our enemy?
When it is not controlled.
When we listen to the mind.
Yeah, uncontrolled mind is our enemy.
Uncontrolled.
Controlled mind is our friend. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
So uncontrolled mind will be our enemy. And once it's controlled, it becomes your friend. Okay. So what is the method of controlling the mind? We discussed all the mind control techniques. The best way is Sharanya Mataji.
Chanting the holy names of Krishna.
Engaging in the service of the Lord.
Yeah. So doing devotional service, chanting, yes, definitely. Manatrayade iti mantraha. Mantra is actually, so ours is a mantra meditation is happening. So we meditate on the mantra. It's not just meditation because in Kali Yuga, it's not possible. So we chant it loudly and hear it. That is called mantra meditation. Okay. So 6.7 says, Chitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahitaha Shidoshna suga dukkheshu tata mana pamaneyo. For one who have conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness, distress, heat, cold, honor, and dishonor are all the same. So for a person who have already conquered the mind, for him everything is same. Why? Because he is just seeing everything in relation with the Lord. And the mind is made of friend, then he'll be completely neutral to all material existence and dualities. Example, Prahlad Maharaj, right? Prahlad Maharaj, when Hiranyakashipu said, I have Vishnu as my enemy, Prahlad Maharaj said, your own mind is your enemy. Right? So, but he have already controlled. And they sees all objects equally, like pebbles, gold, stone, everything equally. Okay, does anyone know the story of Sanatana Goswami and the touchstone? Did we discuss that? Sanatana Goswami and the touchstone.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So he saw that touchstone as just a piece of stone. He didn't value it because he already have the Hare Krishna Mahamantra with him, right? And he just threw that stone in a waste basket because that's the value he's giving to that stone. Okay. And he's fully satisfied with jnana and vijnana. And jnana vijnana triptatma kudasto vichitendriyaha yukta idi uchyati yogi sama lotrasma kanjanaha. A person is said to be established in self-realization as called a yogi when is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-control. He sees everything, whether it's a pebble, stone, gold, as the same. So he Pandita Samadarshina, he sees everything equal. He sees Krishna as Paramatma in everyone's heart. So we have 47 slokas. This chapter, we'll try to finish 2 classes. 29th is exam, so we have 2 more classes. So if the mind is made of friend, then we see everything equally because we see everyone as part and parcel of the Lord. So the intended goal is to abide by the dictation of the Supreme Personality Godhead who seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. And deviation from the goal is because of the misled mind. When the mind is misled by external illusionary energy or the Maya, one becomes entangled in material activities. So because of that, what happens? We take rebirth again and again. Suhurin mitrarimta sina matyasta dvesha bandhushu sadhushu apicha papeshu sama buddhir vishishyate. A person is considered still further advanced when he regards honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, and neutral mediators, and envious friends and enemies, everyone as with equal mind. So envy people, friends, enemies. Krishna also is impartial. Krishna says, Samoham sarva bhudeshu name reshinastina priya. Samoham sarva bhudeshu. He's friendly to everyone, right? He doesn't see anyone as a friend or enemy. A pure devotee is like that. He doesn't see anyone as enemy or a friend. So being completely neutral to all material existence. And book knowledge without realization of the supreme truth is actually useless. So by rendering transcendental devotional service to the Lord, what happens? Krishna reveals to you. Adha Shri Krishna Nama Vinapa Vedrahyam Indriye Seven Mukehi Chikvado Swayam Eva Sviratira. So what are the service we can do with our jihva, with the tongue? What are the devotional service with the tongue?
Chanting and eating
Chanting.
prasad.
Yeah, taking Krishna Prasad. So it is said that when you go to Vrindavan, Braja, you're supposed to roll on the dust of Braja, or at least take the dust and put it on your head. So that is, and the same glory you get when you go to Mayapur and chant the holy name loudly or do Kirtan, Sankirtan. The same effect you will get by just honoring prasadam from Jagannath Puri. The same effect. So that's the power of prasadam, right? By chanting the holy name or doing Kirtan or glorifying the Lord, and by taking Krishna prasadam, that's how we start Krishna consciousness. Then, Atha Shri Krishna Nama Adi. How is Krishna realized? Nama Adi means what?
Name, fame, and pastimes.
Name, not fame, form.
Name, form, and pastimes.
Nama Rupa Guna Leela.
Guna, qualities. Now, a name, form, quality, and pastime. Nama Rupa Guna Leela. So, first is name. Like, first you know my name. Okay, she's our teacher. Her name is this. Then you know the form, how she look, I look. Then you know the qualities of her. Okay, what is she? Then you know more about the pastime. So you can't directly jump to Krishna's Rasa Leela or pastimes without even chanting Krishna's holy name. So first is Krishna's name. So when you chant the holy name, what do you all meditate? Okay, you put it in the chat. You're chanting Hare Krishna. All of you are chanting 16 rounds. So when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare. What are you actually meditating on? Or when you chant, what is the one you're concentrating? Yeah, Krishna means his associates. Krishna means so many things. But meditating on Krishna means what? Is it the form or the pastimes or the qualities? Lotus feet.
We are calling Krishna.
I'm asking in the chat, bro. Just put in the chat. Calling Krishna, but what are you actually? Yeah, so that means his name. Yes, many are doing name. Sandhya Mataji, form. Like how can we jump to that form? Are you artificially imagining that form? Like Krishna is there in the two-handed form, and or artificially imagining that lotus feet. Artificially, we are not supposed to think about his form or pastimes. We are supposed to hear the name. Yes, first is try to hear the name. You're supposed to concentrate on the name. Some says you have to concentrate on the rupa. Some says concentrate on the lotus feet. But it's difficult. It's difficult. Artificially, Bhakti, who's that? Gaur Kishordas Babaji says you should not artificially try to concentrate on Krishna's form. First is the name. First concentrate on the name. Okay, just try to concentrately hear the name. So that is very important. And yes, Abhinatvam Nama Namina. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddham Nityamuktam Abhinatvam Nama Namina. Abhinatvam Nama Namina means there is no difference between Krishna's name and himself. Okay, so Krishna is transcendental. He is Purna Shuddham Nityamuktam. Purna is complete, Shuddham is very pure, and Nityamukta, he is completely liberated. So that's why Krishna's name, because Kalikale, Nama Rupa Krishna Avatare, Nama Rupa Krishna has come. As Prabhu said, yes, we are calling for Krishna, we are calling out him. So, but then what are you meditating on? It's the name. Once you start concentrating completely on the name, at one stage, what happens? Krishna's form will automatically comes to you. You can't forcefully think about the form. Yes, you can look the photo of the Lord or in the deity of the Lord and then chant, but forcefully don't try to force your mind to think about the form. First is the Leela. First is the name, then the form, then quality, last is the pastime. So Bhagavad Gita is a science of Krishna consciousness. How one becomes Krishna conscious? Not by mundane scholarship, but one was fortunately enough to associate with a person who's in pure Krishna consciousness. So we are actually associating to Srila Prabhupada, right, through his purports, Bhaktivedanta purports of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna conscious person is a realized soul. It's a pure devotee. He's satisfied with his devotional service, and therefore he has realized knowledge. and he's steady in his conviction by the strength of his realized knowledge and self-control, and he is scholarly, okay? And mental speculation are the gold to others, are as good as pebbles and stones for him. So, what do you call somebody who is chanting the holy name, but not know the philosophy? He doesn't know his spirit soul. He doesn't know Krishna is as super soul, all that. But he's chanting. What is such people called as?
Kanishtadhikari. Hare Krishna.
Kanishtadhikari knows something. He knows Krishna is
Mm,
Bhajananandi.
Bhajananandi is somebody who's completely doing devotional service, but he knows philosophy. Bhajananandi knows philosophy. The only thing is he doesn't preach. Goshananandi preach, Bhajananandi doesn't preach. This person is attached to Krishna. Krishna is a thing, but doesn't know much philosophy. What are they called? Huh?
Jnani.
No, he doesn't know philosophy. Jnani is somebody who knows philosophy. No, he doesn't know the philosophy. Is called as a sentimentalist. Sentimentalist. He's sentimentally attached to Krishna. That's it. No philosophy. Just that, oh, my parents are worshipping, I should also worship. Sentimentally attached. That won't stay. Because they don't know the philosophy. They don't know Krishna is the Supreme Personality. They can't come out of bodily concept. But they're chanting, but they're sentimentalist. And somebody is a great philosopher. Okay, he is Bhakti, Shastri, Bhakti, Vaibhav, all scholars. He have all degrees. You know everything of Bhagavad Gita, all slokas. But he doesn't chant or doesn't do devotional service. What are they called? The opposite?
Mental speculators.
Mental speculators. Very good. So for one category is sentimentalist who does really devotional service, but zero at philosophy, no philosophy. But then the other hand, there are mental speculators. Oh, Krishna might be like that. In Bhagavad Gita, it said like that, said like this. But what are you doing? Vedaisya sarve rahameva vedyam. The main purpose of studying the Vedas is to understand Krishna and chant holy name. But they didn't come to that conclusion. So they are mentally speculating. Oh, we can chant, we might chant, all that. They know so much philosophy. Oh, I'm spirit soul. So as spirit soul, as part and parcel of Krishna, what are we supposed to do? Serve him. But they don't do that. They are mentally speculators. So what should be, what is a Krishna conscious person, or what are devotees? Are they sentimentalists or mental speculators?
None of it, Mataji, because
of
they
it.
know both. They do both.
They do
They are-
both. They understand the philosophy. Yes, Siddharth Prabhu.
Okay, they're in a way they're neither, but they
They know
are
both in the sense.
they know both.
You know,
So
yeah, they know the philosophy as well, and also they do devotional service. So Prabhupada says, if you're not so interested in philosophy, you can chant Hare Krishna. But you should understand the basic philosophy that we are spirit soul, we are not part and parcel of this material world, we are part and parcel of Krishna. So that's why ISKCON gives so much importance in studying philosophy. Why? If you know the philosophy, you will be fixed in devotional service. You will not fall down. You will not fall down. Whatever happens in life, because since you know some philosophy about Krishna consciousness, you know why you're chanting, you know why everything what you're doing, you have a reason to follow. Why we have the 4 regulative principles, why is it important? Everything you can. So Prabhupada says it's not a blind faith. Krishna consciousness is a science. So there is a science behind it. So you should know the philosophy, the devotees, as well as you should know devotional service. Just knowing the philosophy will not help. Just chanting will not help. Chanting will help if we are doing Shuddha Nama. Are we in Shuddha Nama? No, we are in Nama Parat stage. So we need philosophy. We need to understand these things. So Bhagavad Gita is the science of Krishna consciousness, and it cannot be understood by mundane scholarship. It should be understood through a devotee. And real fortune is to associate with one who is in pure Krishna consciousness. It is said, this human form of life is very rare, right? Dehinam Shana Bangura. Durlabha Manisha Janmam, Dehinam Shana Banguram. Durlabha Manisha Janmam. It's very rare to get a human form. Why do you say it's rare? Because there is overpopulation here, right? But why do you say human form is very rare?
Because we get after 84 million.
34 species.
After 84 million species, not necessary.
that is because they are tatastha, and anytime they have the possibility to transcend.
That's not why it's rare.
So, Mataji, out of that 84 lakh, only 4 lakh species are
Yes.
human species.
Excellent. Very good. Yes. Chatur Lakshani Manava. So out of 84 lakh species of different species, 4 lakhs are only 4 lakhs are human beings. Jalaja Navalakshani. In aquatics, there are 9 lakhs species. 9 lakhs. Okay. Then trees, 10 lakhs. Birds, 12 lakhs. Like that, so many species. But humans are the least, 4 lakhs. And what is this 4 lakhs based on? There are Homo sapiens. How is it saying 4 lakhs? What is it based on? How do you say there are 4 lakhs?
Based
Raju,
on the
Tamo.
conscious.
Appearance.
Appearance, very good. Appearance and consciousness. Like we
Conscious.
doesn't look like an African, or we doesn't look like a Chinese person. Like the appearance is different. The consciousness, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jivamaya, Anandamaya, all that, Vijnanamaya, all the consciousness, the kosha is very important. Based on consciousness also, it's divided. And it's not only in this world. This 4 lakhs, it can be throughout the universes, different Brahmanda, so much of Brahmanda is there, so much of universes is there. This proves what? There is life in other planets. Maybe scientists were not able to prove, but scriptures prove that it might be your blunt eyes cannot see it, or you cannot go to that planet because it's not easy to go to another planet with this material body. But there are other planetary system where there is living entities. Yes, Preet.
Mataji, so you said talk appearance and consciousness. So
Yeah.
of course you said for appearance, the race thing, right? The color, whatever. But what is the example of consciousness? You said koshas, but what is examples, Mataji? Could you please
Yeah,
give some-
Annamaya Kosha means you see these tribals, they means all these what do you say, the not advanced civilization, where the tribes, where they have Annamaya Kosha, in the sense their consciousness is just that bodily consciousness. Sometimes, okay, some of them, they'll be like just in the bodily consciousness. Some of them are there, even in this material world among us. They just they don't eat to live, they live to eat. You've seen people like that. They're foodies. Any new restaurant opens, they run and go. They just want to satisfy their belly because they think it's just the body. They, once I was trying to preach to my friend who was pregnant, and I thought, okay, she might take to Krishna consciousness. She was initially interested, but then she's like, finally, it's just one life, just enjoy. Like she's not bothered about bhakti and all that because they just think this body. So that's called Annamaya Koshas. There are some people in this world who just are in the bodily consciousness. They just see the comforts of the body. They don't know about spirit, soul. They don't know about the Lord, nothing. So that is Annamaya. And once your consciousness advances, then there is a Pranamaya Kosha. Pranamaya means you know you're living entity. You know a little bit more. You are out of the bodily concept, but not much. And then Jnanamaya is, you know, there is a difference between body, the matter and spirit. You know that. But you didn't apply it. And Vijnanamaya, you actually start applying it. Okay, applying in the life. And Anandamaya is once you come to Krishna consciousness, the transcendental bliss you enjoy. So all the devotees comes in Anandamaya Kosha, the highest platform of consciousness, that yes, we are spirit soul, we are part and parcel of the Lord, we're supposed to serve. So based on the consciousness, also there are different types of people, okay, among human beings. So an Annamaya Kosha example also you can give, like a babies. The babies have just Annamaya Kosha. You've seen some, they crawl, and whatever, even if it's a cockroach, they come and put it in their mouth, right? Because that's just Annamaya Kosha. They just anything to eat. That's just the consciousness is low. And as they grow, the consciousness keep increasing. When they start going to school, you know, the difference between body and spirit. And then slowly they start understanding, yes, I'm living entity. And then slowly their consciousness increase. And once you reach to God consciousness, that's the highest. So I think it's discussed in some chapter in Bhagavad Gita, all the 5 levels of, this is called, there is a term for it. I forgot. Okay, there is a term for it. These 5 koshas are called as, okay, I'll let you know. So these 5 consciousness, based on the consciousness, there are different types of living entities in the human, at least in the human society. So 10th sloka says about practicing Ashtanga Yoga. Yogi yunjita saratam atmanam rahasi sthita ekagiyada chittatma nirashir aparigraha A transcendentalist should always engage his body, mind, and self in relationship with the Supreme. He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. He should be free from desires and feeling of possessiveness. So can we do this? The first yama in the Ashtanga Yoga, here itself we fails. How many of you can live alone in a secluded place? Where is secluded place? Only in Himalayas, or you can go to some jungles. When that is not happening nowadays. So it's a secluded place in Kali Yuga, in this modern world, very, very difficult. And living alone. So is there anyone in the Shastra who was living alone and then completely lost from devotional service? Who was that?
Maharaj,
Bharat Maharaj.
Bharat Maharaj. Right? The failure of Bharat Maharaj because he became a deer, because he was thinking about a deer at the end of his life. Yam yam yavapi smaran bhavam tyajat ante kalaivaram tam tameva iti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavidaha. Whatever thoughts we have at the end of our life, the same thing you achieve. Anta kalesha mameva smaran mukta kalaivaram. Krishna says, so just think about Krishna at that time. But Bharat Maharaj became got so lost. So what is yes, he was living secluded, but what is that mistake Bharat Maharaj did? Because he became a deer. Yes, he was thinking about the deer, but what else he did? Yes, Sharanya Mataji.
Mataji was not having Vaishnavas association.
Yeah, he was not in the association of devotees. Like imagine you are also in the forest like Bharat Maharaj and you got attached to the deer. But if your friend devotee was next to you, what would that devotee say? What are you doing? You're getting so attached to the deer. Chant Hare Krishna, do that, do this. So there'll be devotees if they are around you. Even though you slip to Maya, sometimes it happens because everyone, today I was just reading, Prabhupada says, even if you are an Uttama Adhikari, a pure devotee, if you don't chant Hare Krishna, you will fall down. Even if you reach the highest stage of prema, bhava, still you have to do devotional service. So Bharat Maharaj, because he didn't have any association, he was living alone in a secluded place. That's a mistake he did. If he had association. Also, one more person who else got lost, went to the forest, then slipped and went to Maya.
Ajamila.
So Ajamila also didn't have nice association. If he had association, he wouldn't have gone with the prostitute and spoiled his life and got a second chance. He got a second chance because of Nama Bhas of chanting Narayana, but still he didn't have association. So association is very, very important. Association is the basement or the foundation of Krishna consciousness. If we think we can advance in Krishna consciousness without association, Prabhupada says it's just illusion or delusion, what a hallucination, what do you think? It's just not going to happen because it becomes dry then. Every day chanting, every day. If you don't have association, you feel happy, when you have a Bhakti Vriksha, when you associate with devotees, you feel happy. That's the fuel in the car. You have a car and you don't recharge or you don't put fuel, it's going to stop one day. So that fuel of your devotional service is association. So you need association, like-minded devotees. If some senior devotees, definitely take help from them or advice from them. Your same level devotees, make friendship with them. And somebody is so new to Krishna consciousness, help them, show your mercy to them. So this is how you associate with devotees. A nectar of instruction, Upadeshamrita by Rupa Goswami says the 6 aspects of association. Dadadi, Pradigrihnadi, Guhyam, Akyadi, Prichadi, Bhunte, Bojate, Shaiva, Shadvita, Preeti, Lakshana. There are 6 aspects of association. You need to memorize these slokas when you come to the module 5. So what is he saying is the 6 aspects of association is Dadadi, Pradigrihnadi. You can give gifts, accept gifts from devotees. Then reveal your mind to the close devotees and hear from them submissively. And Bhungte Bojidecheva, you can give prasadam to them, accept prasadam. So these are 6 aspects of association. So association is very important. But here in the yama, the first niyama or niyama of Ashtanga Yoga says you have to live in a secluded place. That was possible in Satya Yoga. Okay, Satya Yoga, people could meditate and on like 60,000 years. Why? Why could they do so much in Satya Yoga?
They had longer lifespans and more attention.
Longer lifespan. So what is the lifespan in Satya Yoga?
1 lakh years.
1 lakh.
1 lakh years.
Then in Treta Yoga?
10,000 years.
10,000.
10,000.
Dwapar Yoga?
1,000.
1,000. And Kali Yoga?
100.
100. But how many of you around you were living up to 100? Very hardly few, right? If they cross 100, it's like, oh, but maximum maybe 65, 60, 70s maximum. We don't know. So, but then that's because of our lifestyle and disease and so many things, stress and anxiety, all that. But Prahlad Maharaj says, in this 100 years, if we take in Kali Yuga, we have 100 years. First 20 years, what are we doing in life?
Student, brahmacharya.
Student life. Then first 10 years,
That
Sleeping
is
and eating,
Right.
Mataji.
yeah,
playing and playing around, right? You can't become serious at that time. So first 10 years playing around, next 10 years studying your career and all that. So 20 years is gone. Last 20 years, up after 80 plus, what do you have? What do you do? Normally, normal people. Last 20 years of life.
Just taking care of health.
Health issues. Definitely, you have sight problem, you have back pain and that and this and heart disease. So many problems, cholesterol, diabetes, hypertension. Yes, many might have that. Right. So first 20 years gone for playing and studying and all that. Last 20 years. So how much is gone? Out of 100, 20 gone, 80. Okay. Now we have 80. Now in that 80, the last 20 is gone for health issues and taking in memory loss and so many things. Okay, so that is last 20. So out of 80, again 20 is gone, there's 60 remaining. Now in the 60 years of our life, what are we doing maximum time? In the 60 years, maximum, what do you do? Sleeping. So we are sleeping. It says, yeah, half of it, 50% of that 60 years, we are sleeping, average. So that means 60 by 2, that is 30. Now that 30 years is remaining. That 30 years, your peak, youth and adulthood, what are we doing in that 30?
Earning, taking care of family.
Yes. Going for sense gratification, applying for jobs, and then settling down, getting married, then having kids, taking care of them, settling them, behind all these things. When will we do bhakti then? First 20 years, playing and studying and all that. Last 20 years, we can't even remember sloka. We can't even take the japa bag and chant. And rest of it, we are sleeping. And the 30 years we have, we are running behind material sense gratification. When will we do bhakti then? No? Did you all think about it? So, start as soon as possible. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumara acharet pratyo dharman bhagavadaniha durlabam manisha janmam tatapi artadam. So he says durlabam, it's very rare to get a human form. That's okay. Let life go in its own way. But then you can't cross the river even the river dries up. No, you can't say, oh, let the river dry up and then I'll cross. What if the river never dries up? Similarly, problems in life will keep happening. Things will keep changing. Responsibilities will keep coming, but then bhakti should go along with that. Okay, it should go. And so, but that is association is very important. So when we live alone in a secluded place, we can fall down. Maya can attack us. So we should always have association, like-minded people, and always engage the body, mind, and self in samadhi. That's for Ashtanga Yoga, but it's difficult in Kali Yuga. And controlling the mind, you know how difficult it is. Free from material desires and possessiveness. That's not easy, right? Prabhupada says only a stone can be desireless. So there are 3 degrees of realization of Krishna: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. And impersonalists, they realize Brahman. Meditators, they meditate on the Paramatma. And Krishna conscious person, they meditate on the Lord's name. So super soul is all pervading expansion of the Lord. Impersonal Brahman is the light coming from Krishna's body. Only Krishna himself is the Supreme Personality. God is the ultimate realization. So to constantly engage in their pursuit to come to the perfection, it's a little difficult in Kali Yuga. So the first business of transcendence is to keep one's mind in Krishna, that we have to concentrate on the Lord. That's called again Samadhi. So this is called Yukta Vairagya. This is our concept. Now we do Yukta Vairagya. It means Anasaktasya Vishaya Yadarham Upayunjane Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchate. So what do? We do Yukta Vairagya. Use everything in Krishna service. But there are people who do Falgu Vairagya, that is incomplete Vairagya. Prapanchika daya buddhya hari sambandhi vastuna mumukshivye parityago vairagyam Falgu katyate. So somebody who's rejecting everything and not using in Krishna service, they are called Falgu Vairagya. So we should be Yukta Vairagyas. Reduce everything in Krishna service. Okay. So Prabhupada quotes that in the sloka. And what is the next thing required for practicing yoga? Shauchau. Shauchau means cleanliness. Shaucho deshe pradistapya stiram asanam atmana. No, asana. So when you're sitting in a clean, sacred place, not too high, not too low, on a kusa grass with deer skin. Why do we have all that? Deer skin and all on that day when they sit for meditation in the forest area.
To protect from the insects.
Yeah, reptiles and insects and all get protected if you have that. But are we allowed to get that now? The department will come and sue us. So it's not possible in Kali Yuga to be like that and to be like a mendicant and sit like that. And many have this back pain and many problems, health issues. Fixing the mind on one point, controlling the mind and senses, again, it's very difficult. And being erect, keeping the body, neck and head straight, being motionless and firm, staring at the tip of the nose, again, difficult. And meditating, okay, withdrawing the mind from sense objects, being fearless, over celibacy, making Lord Krishna as the ultimate goal of life. That is what Krishna consciousness does. But in Ashtanga Yoga, just they meditate on a vacuum or light or the chakras or your breathing, the pranayam. How long it's going to help you? You're supposed to meditate on the Lord, right? Because He is the supreme. And Krishna says, Ma manismare yuddheja, always think about Him in His form, He says. So when Krishna Himself says that, when you do all such yoga system, what happens? It will not take you to the ultimate goal. Klesho atikatarastesham avyakta sattva. Klesho, it will bring you distress only because you can't reach perfection. Can a person reach samadhi in yoga in one life? No, it takes a lot of life. It's like a staircase. It takes a lot of your energy and life and you won't reach perfection. But Bhakti Yoga is like an escalator or a lift. Just takes you just in one life. Okay, so here again it continues saying, big cities do not offer such circumstances for yoga practice. You can't have a secluded place and sit like that. One who's not self-controlled and disturbed in the mind cannot practice meditation. And in Kali Yuga, what are the qualities in Kali Yuga? How are the people in Kali Yuga? Especially crazy, Manda Sumanda Madhyo, Manda Bhagya, right? Yeah, Prayanalpai Sasabhya Kala Asmin Yuge Jana Manda Sumanda Madhyo Manda Bhagya Bhatrita. Okay, Prayana Alpa is a sabya. We know, we've seen the lifespan in Satyuga was 1 lakh, then it became 10,000, then 1,000, and now it's 100. And 100, how many are crossing 100? Hardly few. So that means Prayana Alpayusa. And again, after now 10,000, 20,000 years, we can see around 30, 40, that is considered old age. Why? Because again, the lifespan is going to decrease. That's what Bhagavatam says. And the height of the people in Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga are so huge actually. And now many dwarves and many of us are like very short. And again in Kali Yuga, it's going to be shorter people. So this all the we can't help. It's like that. It's going to be like that. So Prayana Alpa Isa Sabya Kalo Asmin Yugechana Manda dull-headed, Sumanda Madhyo very lazy, and Manda Bhagya very unfortunate. Ubhadrita means disturbed. They're very crazy and disturbed, quarrelsome. So this is the qualities of Kali Yuga. What to do? But Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj, that's okay. Kali Yuga might have a lot of faults, but there's one good quality. What is that?
Getting Krishna with Naam only.
Yeah, Nama.
Chanting holy name of
Chanting the holy name. So he says, Kalo doshani derajan hasti eko mahagunan kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangam param rajit. Kaler doshani derajan. Oh Raja, there's lot of dosha in Kali Yuga, so many. But there's one thing. What is it? Kaler doshani derajan hasti eko mahagunan. It is one good quality. Kirtanadeva krishnasya. If you do kirtan or chanting of the holy name of Krishna, Mukta Sangam, you get liberation. Might be. So Kali Yuga is advantage in one way. Why? Because whatever you do for 60,000 years in Satya Yuga, meditating, whatever sacrifice you do in Treta Yuga, whatever deity worship you do in Dwapara Yuga, everything you get just by chanting the holy name in Kali Yuga. Just you don't have to spend anything. Just sit in your house and aram se chant. So why are we chanting? Because we develop the taste so that when you become old, you can't read scriptures, our eyes sight problem. we can't remember slokas, we can't attend classes, we become little health issues, but we can answer sit or lie down in one place and chant Hare Krishna because the tongue is always with us and you can chant. So that's why we have to develop the taste before we go to that old age. So that we get that taste of holy name. So here in Ashtanga Yoga, it's not possible to control your mind, not possible to sit in a secluded place. So Prabhupada says, therefore, the best means of spiritual realization in Kali Yuga is chanting the holy name. Idi Shodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam. Kali Santarna Upanishad also says that this 16 words or 32 letters will destroy all the kalmashas or anarthas in Kali Yuga. So to help one completely abstain from sense indulgence in work, words, mind at all times, under all circumstances, in all place, celibacy will help us. So strict celibacy is must for jnana and dhyana. When devotees join ISKCON, they might, ask especially girls, when they're young and before marriage, they join ISKCON. The first thing they're going to ask is, are you going to be a sannyasi? You're not going to get into grihastha life? Are you not going to get married? So Prabhupada always says, the Matajis should be always under protection because the society is like that. When you're young, you should be under the protection of your father. As you grow up, then your brothers. Then once you're married, under your husband. And then little on old age, under your sons. That's what Prabhupada says. So Prabhupada always says the Matajis to get married and so that they are protected always. Okay. So Krishna says, Dharma aviruddha kamosmi. That we can have Krishna conscious children. We can do sense gratification just for that, not for just enjoying mentality. So in Bhakti Yoga, might be in other yoga system, you can't have Grihastha ashram. But then in Bhakti Yoga, Grihastha ashram is allowed. So you come to ISKCON, 90%, no, they are all Grihasthas. Many. Brahmacharis, very few. But then Grihasthas are many staying in home and practicing Krishna consciousness. So initially in 65, 60s, joining ISKCON means joining as a full-time devotee in temple. Okay, so that's what initially it was. All the temples were opening and Prabhupada used to make them join. Matajis, Prabhujis, everyone. So they used to be full-time devotees. Then at that time, there was hardly people doing Krishna consciousness at home. So, but then Prabhupada said, this will change. After a few years, this will become opposite. There'll be more devotees doing devotional service at their home, but very few in the temples. That's what is happening now. Many are practicing Krishna consciousness at home. So it is said when Krishna is in the center, the whole family becomes happy. Okay, so that is Krishna consciousness. But in Ashtanga Yoga, they have a lot of limits. Krishna, why is then Krishna explaining all this? Why is Krishna explaining Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and then going to Bhakti Yoga? He can straight away start from Bhakti Yoga, from chapter 1, if Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate. Why is Krishna going through all this and making us study all this?
Because he's covering all aspects of life, right? He's covering everything. That's why.
Why?
He doesn't want people to question.
What, Mataji?
He wants to cover every aspect. He doesn't want people to think, they can do it. So he's he's saying that, you cannot do it. There are fault on those things.
Yes. So Krishna is explaining, yes, so that there are people who likes to take to Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, Krishna is giving options. Krishna is not a strict father saying that only we should do this. No. But finally, Krishna, if you're intelligent, you can understand. Krishna explains all this and Krishna rejects it. And finally says Bhakti Yoga. Yoginam abhi sarvesham atkatenandaratmana shraddhavan bhajade yomam tame yutta tamo mada. He says out of all the yogis, best is Bhakti Yoga. He himself gives the solution, but Krishna is giving chance to other people also because it's not easy to come to Bhakti Yoga. After so many janmas, Ajnana Sukriti only. So we are so fortunate. We don't know what Ajnana Sukriti we have done. We're not qualified, but it's just because of Prabhupada's mercy that he has given us this rare opportunity to come to Krishna consciousness. And even after coming, if we don't take advantage of Prabhupada's books and lectures, then we are actually, what do you say? Jnaniya Shunya Vishakhaina. Manishya Janma Paya, Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya, Jnaniya Shunya Vishakhaina. If you get the human form, Manishya Janma Paya, and Radha Krishna Na Bhaji, if you don't worship Radha Krishna, then what are we doing? Knowingly, we are drinking poison. That's what Narottam Das Thakur says. So that's correct, no? So before coming to Krishna consciousness, we were all like that. Then it's because of some devotees' mercy, Vaishnava's mercy, we are here. So it also says Vikata Bhi. to be fearless. That's a very important quality of Ashtanga Yoga, that you should become fearless. But fearlessness comes in Krishna consciousness, when you know that Krishna is with me. Now, many devotees feel that something comes, you chant Hare Krishna, or you pray to the Lord, and you remember some things in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and you feel so fearless that you know that Avashya Rakshabe Krishna. Krishna will definitely protect me. So if you feel that, then that is called Krishna consciousness. But when you forget our internal relationship with Krishna, then what happens? Bhayam comes. Bhayam dvidiya bhiniveshata ishat apetasya viparyayo asmirityaha tanmayayato bhuta abhachetam bhaktya kayesham guru devadatma. So fear arises when living entities misidentify himself as the material body because of absorption of external illusionary energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Lord, he forgets his constitutional position. Krishna buliya jiva bhagavancha kare. Pashutiya maya tare chapatiyata. Krishna buliya. Forgetting Krishna, jiva bhagavancha kare. When you start enjoying sense, forgetting Krishna, what happens? Maya will catch us. So this is becoming fearful condition, the potency of Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage in the underlying devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of a spiritual master, okay, and worship the deity. That's called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, what we are doing. The 15th sloka says about the goal of Ashtanga Yoga. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyadamanasaha shantim nirvana prap paramam matsamstam adhigachyati. Thus practicing constant control of the body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God by a part of Krishna, by cessation of material existence. So Ashtanga Yoga is not meant for actually health improvement or entering into void or magical gymnastic feats. Now, when I went for yoga, it was just that my back pain got decreased. It was kind of a gymnastic. There was nothing to do with the mind. They didn't teach about mind control or all that. Okay, there was meditation happening, pranayam and all happening. That helped a little bit. It was kind of a gymnastic. You know, all the Zumba and so many things are coming now nowadays. It's all gymnastic feats. Nothing to do with yoga means what? Connecting to God. But that was not happening. Nowadays, it's just become professional and business. That's it. But the real yoga means to connect to the Lord. So the place where there is no sun, moon, electricity, that is the supreme effort. Natatpashe deshu suryo nashashango napavaka yat gatvanare vartante tadhamam paramam mama. So that is Krishna's abode, that no more coming back. The Lord, although residing in Goloka, is all-pervading Brahman and localized Paramatma. Goloka eva nivishati akhilatma bhuta. So through proper understanding of Krishna's position and his planetary expansion, we can try to reach the kingdom of God, and one can overcome the path of death, birth and death by understanding the Lord. Janma karma chame tityam evam yovedi tattvada tyakta deham punarjanma naiti. Krishna says, ma meti sorjana. Right? So Krishna's birth and appearance and activities are so transcendental. And once you know it, then tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. There's no punarjanma. Krishna says you go back to the Lord. So we'll see the importance of a regulation in the life of a yogi in the 16th and 17th sloka. How it's important to balance eating, sleeping, all that. Nati asnatastu yogosti nachaikantam anasnata nachati swapnashilasya jagrado naiva charjana. There's no possibility of one becoming a yogi or Arjuna if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or not sleep enough. So that's very important. Yuktahara viharasya. Next sloka, Krishna says, Yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasya karmasu yukta sopnavakotasya yogo bhavati dukkha. He who's regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing yoga system. So it's very important. We should not eat too much. What happens? We get disease. Too little also there is problem. And then we should have Krishna Prasadam. And if you don't sleep too much or too little, and if you sleep too much, then again laziness, tamaguna. Too little, then you can't do proper service. You'll be sleepy during a japa session. That's what happens, no? They sleep less. So it is said that you can't compensate the sleep which you lost at night during day sleeping. Because whatever we do in day sleep, there should be like non-REM sleep, REM, rapid eye movement, and non-rapid eye movement sleep. So to get a quality sleep, you should have stretch of 6 hours. So we have to plan our day accordingly. You sleep too little, then what happens? Next day service is altered. And your body won't be fit for doing spiritual life. So first thing to do any yoga for that matter, even Bhakti yoga, is to control eating and sleeping. That's why we have Manglardi. We get up early and then you regulate the sleep. Second is having prasadam. So regulating in habit of eating, sleeping, recreation, work in yoga mitigate all material sufferings. And extravagance in eating, sleeping, defending, and mating will block our advancement in practice of yoga. Okay, so this is common for animals and men. Right? Aharam nidra, bayamaidanam cha, samanya etat pashudir narana. Dharmo hitesho adhiko vishesho dharmene hina pashudir samana. So eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. We also do, animals also do. We do in an advanced way. We might be eating in a 5-star hotel, but they'll be eating in the streets. We might be sleeping in an AC room. They might be sleeping on the streets again. Defending, we have might be guns and knives and all. They have nice sharp claws, all that to defend better than us. And mating, yes, definitely, they have more production than human. So all that, all the 4 things animals are doing. But then the thing which differentiates human from them is dharma. Like Save Pumsa Paro Dharma, Yedo Bhakti Radokshe. So Bhakti is the one which differentiates us. Okay. So, okay, where do we have a breakout room here? Okay, don't have. Okay, so we'll continue. Here it is given the difference between Ashtanga Yoga and Krishna consciousness. Okay, now let's take that as a breakout room. Okay, now you have to give the differences. How do you say the differences between Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga? You have to give comparison also. Is there any comparison? And is there any differences? Okay. So this will be a breakout room question. 5 minutes. And then we come back. Then Mataji can post attendance link. We have 4 groups. Okay. Hare Krishna. So all are back. Okay, so the difference between Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So Mataji, you can put the attendance. Yes. Yeah, so who is discussing from room number? Let's take from down. Yes, room number 4. So we should have different devotees representing, like sometimes same devotees come every week and discuss. So we should give chance to other devotees also. So room number 4, who's ready? Hare Krishna. So you should see the room number also whenever you are participating. Aryan Prabhu, Datrey, Shichit,
So,
Prabhu Naveen, Prabhu Preeta, Mother Sandhya, Mother Siddharth. Naveen Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna. I think Siddharth Prabhu will present or
No, I can, but Mataji has said that some new
Yeah,
devotee will-
anyone
yeah.
else like to represent? No, Siddharth Prabhu will add on, but Naveen Prabhu, you can just tell the initial things.
okay, Mataji. So we discussed that Ashtanga Yoga and
Okay.
Ashtanga Yoga is not feasible in this current Yuga, Mataji, because
Yes.
we can't meditate for those long years continuously. Whereas Bhakti Yoga, we can attain spiritual perfection by being in association with the devotees. That is one point we discussed, Mataji.
Yes.
And second point, Ashtanga Yoga is a physical process of God realization, where you have to involve your most of the asana. So you have to sit in a secluded place and you can practice that. But Bhakti Yoga, there are no limitations that you have to sit only in one particular place and you have to practice Bhakti Yoga. You can, like Krishna in the Shastakam, you can chant the names of Lord in any place. That is one point, Mataji. Third point is Ashtanga Yoga. You have to practice every step until you reach Samadhi. But Bhakti Yoga, even if you practice any of the 9 processes of devotional services or any of 5 limbs of devotional service, we can attain Krishna and we can go back to Godhead. This is what we discussed, Mataji. And anything I missed, Siddharth Prabhu, please add, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Siddharth Prabhu, you can add.
Hare Krishna Mataji. No, Prabhuji has said most of the points. Only 2-3 points we added was one is that in case of Ashtanga Yoga, they're focusing on the void or not void on Paramatma, and we are as devotees we are concentrating on Bhagavan, and therefore and also we actually concentrate on the actual real constitutional position, which is right. And the next point was with respect to very beautiful point was given that was in fact we practice Yukta Vairagya, and in case of uh, Ashtanga Yoga it is a negation of the Yukta Vairagya, where neti etc. is the way. I think most of the points are covered. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, okay. So what about room number? Yeah, Pooja Manji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Sadhya Pranam. So we have some similarities and few differences which we discussed. And the first similarity is that in Ashtanga Yoga, we have to be secluded, that there should be the secluded place. But in Bhakti Yoga and Krishna consciousness, we need the association. And that association, because the first stage is faith, but after that, the Sadhu Sangha and Bhajana Kriya, all these things really takes us to that Bhava Bhakti stage. Then second point is lots of struggle in concentrating our mind senses in case of Ashtanga Yoga. which we say that it is not possible in Kali Yuga. But Krishna consciousness is definitely possible because by continuous chanting and the association, we can definitely focus our mind because Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva Gatir Anyatha. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, and he has given us the Lord Krishna's Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And the third is that eating prasadam and the kirtan, all these satsanga really gives us a blissful feeling. And this is how we can really, Prabhupada has taught us the dance also, Swami dance, and that really gives us to that Sachit Anand, that blissful feeling. And the Ashtanga Yoga has these all 8 folds that Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi. But Krishna consciousness is a direct method. It's a way of lift. There will be escalator, and it can take us directly to the Krishna, Lord Krishna. It can connect us to the Lord directly. Ashtanga Yoga, as the point is already explained, that it is not possible in Kali Yuga because Arjuna himself that it is not possible in Dwapara Yuga. So no question of in Kali Yuga. But Krishna consciousness is definitely possible with this chanting holy name, chanting of holy name, association, and the devotional service. And the point which Siddharth Prabhu has already said, that which we discussed, that Ashtanga Yogi has to renounce everything. They have to renounce all the material things. But the Krishna conscious person can be Yukta Vairagi, and he can use all the things in the for pleasing Lord Krishna. So he can utilize all the things. You can make use of. This is a Nishkama Karma. He can do the Nishkama Karma. Then Ashtanga Yoga, the goal is Brahma, that is Brahman association. But in Krishna consciousness, the goal is Golaka Dham, that is we have to return to the Bhagavad. And the similarity is the only one that both the systems are controlling the senses, controlling the mind. So everything is in focus in both the systems. So this is what we discussed, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Siddharth Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, one point I think we missed, which I just remember, is that there are certain similarities also we found, which are practiced in Ashtanga Yoga, are also in a way also we practice in Krishna consciousness. For example, we talked about niyama. So all the niyamas that we have, having 4 regulatory principles, doing japas, number of rounds, going for artis, all the niyamas is also there. Without niyama also, Prabhupada says we can't progress in Krishna consciousness. Similarly, even dharana, the concept of dharana, having the concretized idea, concretized philosophy that I am the part and parcel of Krishna. So there is a similarity as well. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So that's what I was thinking. There are similarities also, at the same time there are differences. Okay. Room number 2.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Mataji, in our group, actually, we discussed few points like Ashtanga Yoga is based on the physical activities, and for this Kali Yuga, it is very difficult. Whereas the Bhakti, it is recommended for Kali Yuga, that is chanting of holy name. So it is very easy as compared to Ashtanga Yoga. This is the first difference that we discussed. Then second is yoga means in Ashtanga Yoga there is high chance of falling down. Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, even if we fall down, we can continue with the bhakti that we left in our past life. So this is the second point. Then we discussed few analogies like Bhakti Yoga is like lift, where we have to only enter and we have to be there. And in Ashtanga Yoga, it is like climbing stairs by your own. It is your own endeavor that has to be strong for Ashtanga Yoga. And for Bhakti Yoga, you have to be in a surrender mode. You have to fully depend on Krishna's mercy. Then for Ashtanga Yoga, we discussed one more analogy that we had earlier mentioned, that it is like we are sitting on a compound wall of a jail where we can fall down inside as well as outside. And whereas Bhakti is like coming out of the jail if we do it in a proper manner, in proper association. And depending on the Ashtanga Yoga stage where you are, you get some temporary power or mystic power that we can say. Whereas in Bhakti, we get the eternal satisfaction, which cannot be compared with any happiness or any enjoyment in this world. So this is the Bhakti Yoga. And in Bhakti Yoga, as we discussed that Bhakti Yoga, the risk of falling down is very low, and in Ashtanga Yoga, the risk parameter is very high. So that are the point what we discussed, Mataji. Yeah, Balaji Prabhu can add if I missed something.
It was, yeah, all the points you had covered.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what about room number 1? Jayata Madhu, Mamta Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, I'm just taking on this. So we discussed in the group regarding around 7 to 8 points, the differences between Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So in Ashtanga Yoga, it requires a lot of physical demanding actually. You have to sit in a continuously in a single position with in a particular pose actually in a secluded place. There is no disturbance and for long hours you see. So it's a lot of physical demanding and everybody is not possible to do that actually. Only few can do that. Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, we can do it in any place, any position, whatever. It does not require anything. Only it requires put our mind on the God, on the Lord actually. That is that thing. And in this age, actually, it's very difficult to get a secluded place where we can do Ashtanga Yoga. But Bhakti Yoga, we can practice on the japa at any place we think. And second is that in the case of your Ashtanga Yoga, there is chances of falling down because we don't have any devotee association. But in case of the Bhakti Yoga, since we have the devotee association, the chances of falling down is very less. Because the goal of both similarity, the goal of Ashtanga and Bhakti Yoga is same. That is liberation from this cycle of birth and death, and which is the ultimate Paramatma or Bhagavan feature, the God. The same. But because of this, in Ashtanga Yoga, we have to may have to take many births actually. But in case of Bhakti Yoga, it's like an elevator. We can reach that position actually in single birth. We can reach. There's a major difference. And another the difficulty part in Ashtanga Yoga is that meditating on the void actually, just controlling your breath and meditating on the void. There's nothing. So there is chance requires a lot of control of the mind. Whereas in case of Bhakti Yoga, actually meditating on the Lord, actually on the Krishna, his pastimes, his bringing all the bhavas. So, and second is that another point we discuss is that in Ashtanga Yoga, there is chances of ego actually building up within ourselves that we have reached such and such position. But Bhakti Yoga is full of compassion and humility. So, and love and humanity. That is. These are the points we discussed, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhu. Anybody likes to add any points? Anything? Nandita Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, we discussed only one thing that Tapas Prabhu and Mamta Mataji had mentioned, that Ashtanga Yoga could result in your going to an emergency room because of the aches and pains you get. But in Bhakti Yoga, the more you do, the better it is. There is no restriction or stopping it. It is better. More is less actually. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so nice. So yes, so that's why. So we'll see this next week. It's almost 9. I have another meeting. So hope many are coming for August inauguration. And based on that, the service also allotted. So please do come, please do visit. Okay, if you can't make on in August, then some other time, just try. Then at least comes and visit our place, okay, the temple. So we'll see this difference. There are so many differences mentioned again from text 10, 11, 13, 14, 16. Okay, we'll see it next week. You have given so many other good points. Any doubts? Yes, Pooja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, just wanted to add up something when you said about this Annamaya, Manomaya, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya. No? So these are 13.4, no, Mataji. Chapter 13, is it Brahma Pucham, Mataji?
Is that?
Chapter 13, it says, no, Mataji, Kshetra, Kshetrajna. So is it that Brahma Pucham, what we...
Yes. Brahma Pucham Pratishtam, yes. So these are the 5 stages from that. Yes, I forgot to find out. Yes, Vijay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, during a breakout room, we were actually confused on one point. That is in Ashtanga Yoga, is it temporary? Unlike the Bhakti Yoga, like wherever we stop in our previous life, it is continued in the next life. So in Ashtanga Yoga, whether it is temporary or it also carry forwards.
Yeah, all the yoga system actually carries, where we might be Karma Yogi in the last life, Jnana Yogi, Sashta. All the yogas are ladder steps to the Bhakti Yoga. You've seen that ladder, no? Yoga ladder. It's like a step. So if you, any transcendentalist in that matter, any yoga system, you can continue from where you stop, but it's difficult in other yoga system. Like, again, Ashtanga Yoga, you have to start from Yama Niyama, but you can speed up. The process will speed up if you have practiced Ashtanga Yoga in previous life. But Bhakti Yoga is not like that. Bhakti Yoga, immediately you can start, Prabhu. So it might take some time, but yes, it's not lost because it's all on the process. It's all in the process. All the yoga system is in the process to reach the supreme goal, liberation. And but in Krishna consciousness, it's Krishna Prema. So better is Bhakti Yoga. Why? Because immediately we can start from where we lost. And those transcendentalists, Krishna says in some chapter, the unsuccessful yogis, they fall down and if they die, that soul can become devotee next life. Shuchinam Srimadam Gehe. They can be born in an aristocratic family, rich Brahmana family, or somewhere Vaishnava family, where they continue from where they stop. So we can see children born to devotees like Vaishnava family. So definitely they are devotees from previous life or might be great transcendentalists from previous life, and they have continuing their journey. So like that. But definitely Bhakti Yoga is more glorious. Why? Because immediately in one life they can complete and go. But other yoga system might take more janmas and more respect. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sharani Mataji.
Mataji, what is meant by rapid eye movement and non-rapid eye movement sleeping? Like what
that
happens?
is like when we sleep, if you just, if somebody else is sleeping and you just pull the eyelid and see, eyes will be moving, no? This side, that side, the same scene. Like when children sleep and then you just open the eyelid and see the eyes will be moving from here and then here and from up. So that's like rapid eye movement. And in one stage, they'll be like, it stops. It'll be like still. So there are different stages in sleep, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, like superficial sleep, then deep sleep, it goes, then dream, where the dream comes. So that's the stages, Mother, different stages. So once we reach to deep sleep, then you get proper rest. Otherwise, your subconscious mind will be going on working and small sound you hear, you'll wake up, right? But if you go to deep sleep, even if your alarm goes on ringing, still you can't even realize you're into deep sleep. That your even subconscious mind is also in a passive stage. Otherwise, the activity goes on. So the different stages of the sleep. Just mentioning that so that we control our sleep and then get proper sleep at night. But the thing is, sleeping at night early is the challenge actually. No, it's already 9. Now, some of you would be having dinner now. So if you have dinner now, what happens? Take more time to digestion. And then your metabolism goes on, but you won't get proper sleep. So you should always have dinner before coming to class. That like help. Shijit Prabhu.
Mataji, you were telling about marks. There was network issue on my side, so I was not able to hear.
Yeah, you are 58.
You can repeat, please.
Shijit Prabhu. 58 out of 60.
In OB2.
OB2. OB1 you didn't receive, no? From Mataji, they got?
No, Mataji. Sujata Mataji said 2 more weeks, please.
Oh, okay. So let's wait. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining.